Okay, I don't think any of us are under the delusion that you could get a spectacular camera for 40 bucks to $70. I'm gonna put a link to a guy below. He's got like a dozen cameras. He keeps I don't know how he's getting them. He's probably getting the cameras for free. Anyway, he's doing full spectrum conversions. This would actually make a great stocking stuffer if you're somebody like me that has some really nice expensive cameras. Obviously, none of us would want, a cheap little point and shoot camera, and I'll actually show you the images, the camera that I used for these images. And here it is, a little 14 megapixel Fujifilm, JPEGs only, SD card slot. This one actually runs on two AA batteries. This make a great stocking stuffer for any photographer. Most of his cameras seem to be between 40 bucks and like 80 bucks. Samsungs, Vivitors, Canon, stuff like that. No, I don't get any kickbacks. I don't know the guy personally at all. I just thought, well, it's like a $30 camera and it's like $50 of labor. Realistically, it is. To crack one open and remove the pass filters, in this case, ultraviolet and infrared. This is actually inside my grocery store. Um, these look totally different from our perspective. Most people don't realize that all camera sensors out there, doesn't matter if it's Sony, Nikon, Canon, Fujifilm, all these sensors will pick up, depending on the sensor and the specific frequency response, pick up a substantial amount of ultraviolet and quite a lot of infrared. Here's some sunflowers. You see these look radically different. This is outdoors. This is how the trees look. And let me go up one. These are a lot of fun, actually. And of course, you can pick whatever white balance you want. You can make the trees or the purple look green or blue, like a lot of people like to choose blue. This is one where I messed with it a little bit. This one I think is a little bit close to straight out of camera. This is one where I tweaked it a little bit. The sky's still a little green. But they're actually a lot of fun. I mean, come on. How much fun can you have for $50? This is actually a lot of fun for $50. And depending on what you're taking a shot of, you can actually create some interesting shots. Yeah, I paid $40 for my camera. Um, One of the great things about full spectrum conversion is that some of the colors look exactly or very close to how they would look with a regular camera with normal human visible. And of course, some of these reflectivity from flowers and plants and whatnot is how a bug would see these flowers. Actually, I took quite a lot of flower pictures, but I didn't include them here. There's just some of the flowers, like these down here. This is inside of a grocery store. I know. Like the ribbon on this is extremely close to how the ribbon looks in real life. These are not red in real life. These are white. And I've also got a UV light, and you can actually use that for looking at for skin cancer. Make it completely dark and use a UV light. You can see skin cancer on people's face or hands or whatnot. Or you could look at dirty hotel bed sheets with the camera. Um, but yeah, really, it's a perfect holiday gift. And if you're a nut like me, that's got every fancy, awesome camera that gives you stunning results. I mean, it's fun to walk around with something like this and take some interesting shots. It was just blasting cold outside. So just a little bit of tweaking. You can go from this sort of color. Set your proper white balance. The wood looks extremely close to natural. Obviously, the purple leaves and whatnot do not, but there's nothing really in bloom. That's why I had to go to the grocery store. So take a look at the guy's eBay. So he's got Kodak cameras and Vivitars and all sorts of stuff. He's got a really good feedback, and for 40 to 60 bucks, it's pretty cool. It's fun. It's trying to think the perfect equivalent. I mean, I know people that have like really, really expensive medium format cameras, and yet they'll still You know, they like messing around with weird, strange cameras. I think you get the point. Anyway, it's something to think about. If not, it makes a perfect gift. What sort of gift can you give a photographer for $40 to $60 that's going to impress them? You know, like, oh, I got a Nikon D850, but you bought me a point and shoot camera. But like, no, 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 no. I got you a full spectrum point and shoot camera. Oh my God, that's so cool. Well, if you're nerdy, that's what your answer would be. Some people don't have much of a curiosity quotient in their brain for stuff like this. But they are fun. And you have to experiment around and you can see how things will look on full spectrum and how you can tweak your white balance. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. This is a cheap little Sony point and shoot. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't bring a gimbal with me. It's freezing outside. Say a full spectrum conversion, which means the UV and IR hot pass filter have been removed. This is what every digital camera would be out there look like. Wouldn't make for very true photography. These are a couple of the things that cause loss of light to actually hit the sensor. And lastly, the color filter array for RGB discrimination. The most sensitive camera in the world would be a high gain sensor with no UV pass filter, no IR hot filter, and no color filter array. The only problem with that would be is that the monochromatic images would look weird. In black and white, people would say, why do those tree leaves look exceptionally white? And other things. However, in bright sunlight, you could actually make out skin cancers on people's faces. But that would be helpful for a few things. Man, it is just blasting cold out here. I mean, hey, it's a $40 point and shoot. This is what everybody should actually have for a stocking stuffer. No one would be impressed if you gave them a 14 megapixel or 10 megapixel point and shoot camera, especially if they had a nice pro camera or 2 or 3 or a dozen or more like me. But everybody would actually like having a little tiny point and shoot full spectrum camera because they're so fun to play with. I don't even know if I could do a zoom on this thing while it's recording. Maybe I can. Jerky zoom. Good enough.